Contrary to what Hathaway wanted to tell us in their 1993 hit single, love, at its core, is not simply an emotion or some form of ideal. Rather, it's what stays after our incessant need to define, control, or possess someone finally evaporates. What most people call love in this day and age is actually nothing more than dependency. It just presents itself as something noble or worth striving for. But really, what's so noble about being needy? About the fear of being alone, of not being enough, or of being abandoned? Nisargadatta Maharaj put it quite bluntly. What you truly love is yourself. But he wasn't talking about the limited me. Real love only rears its head when there's no me in the way. You know, when you're not trying to get something out of the other person. That kind of love sees clearly and allows everything to be as it is. No need to cling or demand. Now, it doesn't help that marketing companies found different ways to hijack this. For decades, they've branded love into something transactional. It has become a performance you prove with purchases. Valentine's Day is nothing more than a business model. A diamond ring was literally made into a symbol of commitment because De Beers ran a campaign convincing people a diamond is forever. And while a diamond might last for generations, the actual message was quite different. If you really love someone, buy something.
Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next products.
In today's trying times, love has been twisted and perverted. It means flowers, chocolates, luxury bags, fancy dinners. The deeper the pocket, the deeper the love. It's really just emotional blackmail, and we bought it. True love is the absence of judgment, which is another way of saying, stop trying to remake the other person into someone that fits your mental template. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes love as bhakti, but not worshipping a god for favors. It's surrender without bargaining, a letting go of self-interest, so complete that it doesn't occur to you to call it love anymore. Because the thing is, actual love doesn't feel the way it's marketed. No fireworks, no obsession, no drama. It's often boring, like sitting in a room with someone and not needing to fill the silence, or helping someone and not needing to be thanked, or letting someone leave your life without resenting them for it. Take a look at parents who actually respect their adult children's autonomy. They don't guilt them or expect payback. They just support when asked and disappear when not needed. That's love. Not, I brought you into this world, but you're free to live your life. So if you want to find love, stop it. Ask instead, what in me still needs to be seen? That's what you focus on first and foremost, because the moment you stop needing love to fix something in you, it'll start showing up everywhere. And it won't look in any way like The Notebook or Titanic. Why do people lie? You want the short answer? People lie because telling the truth feels like too much risk. That's it. It's not about morals, IQ, or upbringing. Don't let anyone tell you it is. The reality is that at some point, we learned in one way or another that honesty could very well lead to punishment, rejection, or vulnerability. So what we did is, we built a habit of avoidance because it feels safer. And lying isn't just saying things that are objectively not true. Silence also counts. It's the social media version of your life, and it usually starts quite early. Think back to the first time you had to pretend to like the disgusting food you were served by your family. Broccoli rings a bell there. Or Hawaiian toast. Bah. But you learn to smile and nod along even when you disagree. These small lies burn themselves into your being. Nisargadatta Maharaj said, "The mind creates problems it has no intention of solving, and lying is one of them. The lie protects the false self. The imaginary me wants to be seen a certain way. So if telling the truth risks putting a crack in that image, the mind pulls back and runs the ingrained script, because it knows it will work." And here is where it gets even trickier. Most people don't know they're lying half the time. They repeat ideas they heard somewhere but don't believe themselves. Stay in jobs they hate because they are telling themselves they need the benefits. And keep up relationships they've outgrown long ago. All because they're lying to themselves first. The sad thing is that is just a survival mechanism. So if we're honest, we are all liars, no matter how much we pride ourselves on our honesty.
Disappointed!
Alan Watts once described this as wearing a mask for so long you forget there's a face underneath. That's what chronic lying is. You are addicted to the performance. A deep belief that who you are isn't enough, so you invent someone that might be. Just think about job interviews. You say you're a team player, detail-oriented, love a challenge. All code for, please pick me. And even though you hate the culture, the work, the feeling of being imprisoned, or the 3-hour daily commute, you accept it. Why? Because socially, it's encouraged. Lying is so normalized we don't even see it. So how do you stop? Don't try to be more honest. Before long, that just becomes another performance. Instead, notice why you're lying. What would the truth cost you? Who would you disappoint? What part of your identity would suffer the most? When that becomes clear, the lie becomes a choice instead of automatic. Just like when Cypher from The Matrix realized that he had been lying to himself about the real world. He chose ignorance. That's where true honesty starts, as an unlearning. How do I actually stop overthinking everything? That's actually quite funny. How? Well, ask yourself this: who wants to stop overthinking? Funny, right? Overthinking is your brain trying to outsmart reality. All you are doing is trying to rehearse failure in advance. It might feel responsible, but in reality it's just fear disguised as productivity. The goal is only control, and that's why it never ends. At the root of overthinking is only an idea, and that idea is that if you just analyze something hard enough, you'll finally feel safe. But safety isn't some mental achievement, and thought alone can't give you that desired safety. So you keep repeating the same patterns, waiting for a green light that never comes. Realize that you're not the thinker. Thoughts happen. Let them. You are not their author. Ramana Maharshi made this exact point. The thought, I think, is itself a thought. That is not proof of a thinker. The thoughts aren't the problem. They never have been. It's your identification with them. Overthinking is just mental attachment. Think, for example, about the time when you lie in bed at night about to fall asleep. Suddenly a thought crops up. Did I send the email that I really wanted to send? Followed by that retarded thing you said 5 years ago. Then a full imaginary argument of what you could have said to that one guy that cut you off in traffic. That's really not thinking per se. That's your mind panicking in slow motion, trying to simulate every outcome so it doesn't get caught off guard. But it doesn't work. It just robs you of your well-deserved rest. So what do? Don't resist the thoughts. Just stop believing them. Start with a micro-action. Label it, as in planning, worrying, imagining. Once that's done, it's seen for what it is. Once it's seen, it can pass. You don't need to fix your thoughts. Stop taking them personally, and they'll disappear on their own. Another thing you can do is shortening the time between thought and action. Overthinking loves delay and stalling ad infinitum. Just have the conversation, make the decision, submit the application. Action clears mental static faster than clarity ever will. The mind is loud because it thinks it's in charge. Show it it's not. Can non-duality help me stop being jealous? Yes, but not in the way you probably expect. Non-duality exposes what makes jealousy possible in the first place, the belief in a separate me that lacks something. Jealousy only makes sense when you believe you're missing out or being outshone by someone else. But there is no someone else. Just experience showing up in different flavors. The sense of me versus them is a projection running in your mind, and jealousy is just a byproduct of that. You're not upset because someone else has something. You're upset because your self-image thinks it should have it too, and that image needs constant defense. John Wheeler and Nisargadatta both pointed to this. Once you see that the I being threatened is just a collage of past experiences, opinions, and fears, the jealousy doesn't make sense anymore. Jealousy keeps you busy comparing, because comparison keeps the false self alive. Without that contrast, it becomes irrelevant. Who here hasn't scrolled through their social media feed looking at someone traveling, thriving, getting married, buying a house, and seemingly having it all? Suddenly, your body tenses and a question burns in your head. Why not me? But take a step back. That pain came only from the thought, I'm behind. That thought is just a reflex. Instead of fighting jealousy or spiritually bypassing it, use it. Let it expose what part of your self-image still feels incomplete. Let it reveal what you still think you need in order to be enough, just to see it. No need to fix it. You're not jealous. Jealousy is happening. It's not personal. It's just another mirage your ego set up to keep you believing you are separate and lacking. It's not true. And once you see that, the jealousy just disappears. So yes, non-duality can help. But it'll only show you there was never a you for it to stick to in the first place. Why do I feel offended by other people's words? You feel offended because some part of you believes the words might be true. Offense can only land where something is already broken. Some insecurity you haven't fully addressed. If someone called you a purple dinosaur, you wouldn't flinch. Except, of course, if you hate Barney. But what if they say you're lazy or fake? That stings. Why? Because part of your mind thinks, maybe I am. Offense is self-reference. You're not actually reacting to what they said, but to the identity it threatens. Osho explained it like this. The ego gets hurt because it's fragile and constantly trying to be someone in particular. The more invested you are in being smart, kind, or successful, the more vulnerable you are to anything that contradicts it. Nothing can trouble you but your own imagination. And that's exactly what's happening. Someone else throws out a sentence, and your mind builds an intricate story around it. Do you see the problem? It's identification. Let's take this channel as an example. We think of a topic, then write our script with the best, at least for us, fitting titles. After that is done, we proofread our creation to each other, working out the kinks and adding stuff where we see fit. Then we think of possible thumbnails. Next, we convert the script to audio and look for a fitting music track. When all that is done, we think about the best way to put that into compelling visuals. We then create said visuals, and finally put all of it together to create one coherent video that is easy on the eyes and ears. And after all that, we upload the video and some person comments, "This is stupid," or something else like that. What do you think happens? How does that make us feel? How would anybody feel? But zoom out. It's literally a sentence from a stranger, written in pixels by someone who may have had a fight with a friend or simply a stressful day. And sometimes that does not feel nice to hear. But in the end, it is comparable to receiving positive feedback. Of course, we prefer positive comments a lot more because it makes us feel appreciated. That is just a normal reaction in the mind-body machine. Nothing to worry about or to overanalyze. So how do you stop feeling offended? Easy. No need to stop throwing tantrums. They will come and go as they please, until you really see through the idea that there's a you who needs defending. The one being hurt isn't even solid to begin with. And of course, some people will jump right out and say that this is some form of apathy. But rest assured, no one is asking you to be some pushover that lets other people trample over him. You can still disagree, have boundaries, speak clearly about what annoys you or matters to you. But it's coming from clarity, not emotional flinching. The trigger's gone. So next time someone says something that finds its target, pause. Instead of reacting, ask, what part of me just got threatened? That moment of awareness interrupts the script, because when there's no imagined self to protect, there's nothing left to offend. If that feels like something you would like to know more about, check out our digital retreat. We have created a more structured approach that will guide you from sheer intellectual understanding you get from just watching these videos, to actually seeing for yourself who you are and making this a part of your own experience. In this course, you will find meditations, videos, and pointers for the sole purpose of taking you from superficial knowledge to the deep recognition of your true self. There is also a free guided self-inquiry available on our channel, which might already be enough. All info is in the description box below.